We'll never give up, we'll never back down till our world has been set free. I'll meet you there when the sun burns bright. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there.
Dans le sillage de Greta Van Fleet, Rival Sons ou The Wolf, trois groupes qui portent haut l'héritage du classique rock, une nouvelle formation s'apprête à faire parler d'elle. Son nom, Jayler, 4 Britanniques d'une vingtaine d'années à l'énergie brute de décoffrage, dont l'univers renvoie aux grandes heures de Led Zeppelin, The Who ou Queen, avec juste ce qu'il faut de modernité. En avril 2026, Jayler s'était déjà fait remarquer en se produisant aux côtés de Guns N' Roses, Lynyrd Skynyrd et Extreme lors des Monsters of Rock de Sao Paulo, un warm-up en très bonne compagnie avant la sortie de leur premier album Voices Unheard que les Britanniques viendront défendre en première partie de Deep Purple à l'automne. Et bien dans cette nouvelle vidéo les amis, j'ai le plaisir de vous inviter à faire plus ample connaissance avec James Bartholomew et Tyler Aerosmith, respectivement chanteurs et guitaristes du groupe, une rencontre et session acoustique exclusive qui prouve s'il en est que la flamme du classique rock n'est pas prête de s'éteindre. Bon visionnage.
We're just bringing that to our generation, you know, make it seem fresh again. The way we met was through an open mic night, me and Tyler anyway. At this point I was at Lichfield's South Staff College for Music and Music Tech, and I met Ed and Ricky, our bass player and drummer. I didn't really talk to them that much, but yeah, I saw them about and saw them always laughing and giggling with each other. So I was like, okay, they seem like cool guys to hang out with.
Sussing them out,
yeah. And so we're halfway through the college year, and I'm helping run this open mic night. And my girlfriend at the time mentioned that Tyler was going to come down because his girlfriend at the time were friends. So I was looking out for him, and I was just like, oh, when's he going to come in? And he did. And we just started talking about guitars, and he had a Gibson and I didn't at that time.
You wanted one?
I wanted one. And so, yeah, we started talking about guitars and what bands we like. And we were like, I was like, you should get up, we should do a set, because I've got a set and I'd like to play with you. So I was on bass. I think we did a Darkness song, Led Zeppelin and AC/DC.
Yeah.
And then he talked to, I think he came a couple times to the open mic night after that one time, and he talked about his sixth form, and I was like, well, that sounds bad. You should leave that sixth form and come join me at Lichfield South Staff, and he did.
Yeah.
Begged and pleaded my lecturers. I was like, please let him come. I'll meet you there. Bass player before I was a guitarist, so I had some idea of what the neck was. So my first actual riff was Hell's Bells, AC/DC. That was my first actual guitar riff when I figured out what distortion was and how to get that kind of sound. But yeah, what was yours?
For me, so I actually started on acoustic because I heard from a lot of people, oh, you need to start on acoustic, which I don't know if that's necessarily true, but that's what I did. So it started with this very, very nice simple riff. and then the rest of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it started with. And then I think I did 3 or 4 lessons on acoustic guitar until I said, enough of this. I want to play electric. I want to do distortion. I want to plug into an amp. So I grabbed my dad's old Strat copy, which was just gathering dust. Went to the guitar shop, put some new strings in it, and then I started, learning some AC/DC, some stuff with distortion. Like Back in Black was there. That was like one of the first, on electric.
We definitely are inspired by the music of that decade of the late 60s, early 70s, and also what was going on at the time with the hippie movement and peace and love and all kind of what was happening through Vietnam and bringing people together, like with artists like, John Lennon and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, even anyone who played Woodstock. Yeah, I don't think many people will say, oh yeah, rock's like the main genre of our youth. But I think it's definitely just a bit underground at the minute, this rock and roll, as you call it. And I think it's getting a resurge. And I see it all over social media and, even out in the street sometimes you'll see some people in bell-bottoms or flares and a nice cool shirt. I'm like, okay, that's groovy.
It's like a community. And you feel like you can kind of connect with those people as well, which is nice, see them out and about.
And I got into it, this whole like 60s, 70s stuff, was because of my nan. She was a country and western singer, and she wasn't famous or anything. She just did the genre really well. And I remember putting on, I think it was a Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young album when I was like 9, maybe 8. And she was like teaching me how to put on a record player, like how one works and how well you have to look after vinyl. And obviously I was 8 or 9, so I had no idea how to look after vinyl, so I had my greasy fingers all over the ruining the vinyl, precious vinyl. We definitely, me and Tyler both have a deep connection to the blues and kind of roots music. Like when me and Tyler first got together and we talked about each other's influence, we both realized both of our influences are blues based. So we used to do like Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan. That was one of the guitarists we both got into. Should we do it real quick? Side to the blind, love my baby, I want the sun on shine, hey, hey. Ooh, she's my pride and joy, hey, 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 hey. I'm a sweet lullaby. So we.
That was like straight away, wasn't it? We mentioned some blues. I mean, even like earlier, we just picked up these acoustics, and we were like, oh, let's just try some. We did Smokestack Lightning, didn't we? Just,
Smokestack Lightning. Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, B.B. King, Albert King, Freddie King, all the Kings. All the Kings. They're just fantastic players and innovators of what they were doing at that period of time and how kind of emotional they were.
And it's so raw as well. A lot of the time from the 50s, it's just like a band in a room with one microphone, one take, just playing, just like playing their heart and soul into it.
We're just paying homage to those guys really through our music. So sweet. Oh, yeah. It's happened a couple times,
Yeah.
Because I think when you're so passionate about a certain like decade of music, or even with the Airborne guy, he was like, I'm going to listen to through the entire catalogue of AC/DC to make sure I've just not ripped him off. Because I think that's quite man of him to say that I'm heavily influenced by these, but I'm not trying to rip them off. And I think that's what we are with these bands from the early 70s, late 60s as well. We're just paying homage and trying to bring what they brought, what was fresh to those guys back way when. We're just bringing that to our generation, you know, make it seem fresh again. We are real, and we feel connected to this, and we're going to try and preach it as loud as we can. I think it was like the first 2 years of Jayler playing, we didn't really see any young faces.
No, we were just playing pubs,
Yeah, it was
pubs
like
and clubs. So obviously the clientele in those areas are very much like older men, you know, just drinking a pint with, and we were just like the backing music in the pub.
But we were louder than the conversation.
Yeah. So no one could say anything. We had like Marshall stacks in the corner of the pub. Bless everyone's ears. But yeah, as we started to evolve and started to, you know, write our own music, add that into the set and play like bigger festivals and whatnot, then it became people actually coming to enjoy the music, and that's when we started to see a younger audience. But I will say, we've just come back from Brazil, and over there especially, there's a lot more of a younger audience.
Like, they're more passionate about it than we were a little bit.
Yeah,
and
whoa.
Can't even remember how we got that gig.
It was so surreal. It was around the time we were recording the album.
Oh yeah.
And Lisa, our lovely manager, was telling us about some of the opportunities that we may have, and it was just like, it was a bit of a blur because we recorded the album, then we went out to Nashville, and just right around that time we got the Deep Purple gig, we got the Brazil gig, and we got the Sammy Hagar gig. Yeah, Deep Purple, a band that I think has inspired pretty much every guitar player out there. You know, Smoke on the Water is like literally one of the first riffs everyone learns, I think. Did we ever cover?
I don't think we ever did cover a Deep
I think
Purple.
we, at one point, I was like, can we do Burn? Like,
oh yeah.
And you're like, sod that, I'm not singing that.
While recording the album, we were like crazy.
Yeah, it was that excitement.
We didn't believe it.
No.
We were just too focused on the album. We're like, oh yeah, whatever.
I was like, damn, we better not bomb this album or else they'll kick us off the tour.
Exactly.
Better be a good album.
We got to make sure it's the best album for Deep Purple. We didn't really see much of them at the festival, but we had a gig with them in Rio after the festival. After we played, I think we spoke to Leonard Skinner for about half an hour to 40 minutes, and we were just like chilling backstage with them a little bit, and they were like really friendly and really nice, and you kind of forget that they are these legendary people, and you just have a normal conversation with them, and even getting on the plane to fly to Rio from Sao Paulo, all three bands on this plane, and you just kind of realize that they're human. Yeah. And then as soon as you realise they're human, they're not as big and scary anymore. No, and they're just really easy to talk to.
And they respect you as a musician, and that's great to see, because you know they're Skinner. They could be complete arseholes, and they'd be like, okay, fair enough, they're massive, but they weren't. They were brilliant people.
Though they could have easily been scared or about a newer band coming in, kind of taking their limelight.
Yeah, we don't want them on.
Yeah, exactly. There's bands that are probably like that out there, but these guys weren't. And it was just like, wow, it was impressive, and they're embracing this new generation of rock music, which is, you know, really inspiring. I normally go for a Gibson SG 61, which is technically a Les Paul, but it's not. That's always been my go-to guitar. I think when I first started playing guitar when I was 14, 15, it was an Epiphone SG, and then I had a 335, which was too big because I'm short ass, I had a V. I had a V for a while, a Carina,
Yeah,
Epiphone Flying V, which is super nice. But I always revert back to the 61. I don't know, something about it. All my idols were using an SG. So Tony Iommi, Angus Young, Eric Clapton in the Cream days, and even Jimi Hendrix used the Mary Ford. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's a great guitar. Looks cool. Looks devilish. So I was just like,
Not too long before I met James, a good friend of my family's, was selling his Les Paul. It was a gold top. So I think it's like a 2018. It's not like a vintage guitar or anything. But I remember just like picking up and like, you know, like you put your hand on the neck and go, oh, that's comfortable. And then you sit down with it and start playing. You're like, oh, that sounds good. And it just fit me so well. I was like, I have to get this guitar. So I use that on pretty much everything. Apart from, well, yeah, as James said earlier, if it's like a slide song, I use a Fender Telecaster. But yeah, like in the studio, we had quite a lot of guitars, didn't we? Just messing around.
we had 19 guitars.
Yeah, we had brought all of our guitars. There's a few friends of ours.
We had
who
some
brought some
loaners
in.
as well,
A few
lap
loaners.
steel.
Yeah.
That was cool.
But like as George Perks, our producer, would say, primary colours.
Primary
There
colours,
was
yeah.
the Les Paul and the SG, and that was like the bulk of it, wasn't it?
Playing live, I think we try and throw in as much as we can.
Yeah.
We're not trying to play exactly to the record, because if you want to listen to the record, go listen to the record. If you want to come watch us, like, yeah, we're gonna mess up.
It's real.
Yeah, you know, I think the one song that's going to be off the new album, Voices Unheard, it's called The Rinsk. It's about 6 minutes. We get it to about half an hour live.
We have done.
We
yes.
have done, yeah.
Yeah, maybe not every festival
Not every,
slot.
not
That'd
every.
be like the whole. That'd be the whole
you play
slot.
one song and that's the whole festival slot done. But yeah, we try and stay faithful, but our animalistic instincts kick in, and we're like, let's just have fun on stage. And
You mentioned earlier about the Queen thing, and you know, in the studio, maybe not so much influenced by Queen, but on the stage, you know, when the crowd gets going and like the crowd interaction,
participation.
yeah, that is what really, really drives us.
We'll never give up, we'll never back down till our world has been set free.